Honey, I can't make dinner now. I'm trying to make a video. Honey, I can't find my glasses. As soon as I find my... Oh. Sometimes you need to get your hands on something, but you don't know exactly where it is, and you might need a little help. My name's Charlie Haffey, and the title of today's show is The Search Engine in Google Drive. There are times we're trying to locate a file, and we don't know what it's called exactly. Or we don't even know where it is exactly. We don't even know when it was created, and we might not know when it was opened last. Relax. Google put a very powerful search engine in Google Drive. Hey, they're Google. I'm sitting at my Google Drive user interface, and I'm going to go through a variety of search techniques. The easiest search technique is to come down here on the left to Recent. If I click on that, it's going to allow me to see every single file that I have opened on my computer since the beginning of this account. And I could just keep scrolling down on here. It's going to take me back to the beginning of time for this account. That's not very helpful because if it's not here in the first month or so, I don't know where it's going to be. I need something a little bit more specific than this. So let me just go back to my drive. And one skill that is of limited value is starring an item. So if I right-click on contracting here, and I can add it to the starred group. And you'll notice that I have another star group up here. Let me take this away. I'm going to remove from the starred group. What I've done is I've gone through all my files, and I took a group of files, a group of folders, that related to my work with the Massachusetts Teacher Association. And I've done a fair amount of work with the retirees on technology, spreadsheets, some other things, Gmail. So I starred the 3 folders that I had for my work with the MTA. And that means I can come over here to starred, click on this, and it's going to give me all the folders that I had starred. And it tell you right up here, it's starred. So I've got Excel retirees, MTA retirees, and spreadsheets for retirees. This is nice, except you have a limit to how many folders or files you can put a star on, because if you use too many of them, you're just really back to where you were before. So that can be helpful in narrow situations. Let's go up here to the search drive window. People are really familiar with this. Google is the search drive force. So if I just click on here, one thing that popped up right away is I get a variety of file formats that I can look at. So if I want to look at all the PDFs that I've had, again, what's happening here is I'm going to see all of the PDFs that I've ever opened, and down here it keeps going and going. Oh my goodness, it doesn't really help. If something happens to appear before me in the first part of this, it's helpful, but I need to have more sophistication. So let me come up here. I'm going to close this up. And probably most people, when they get to the search drive engine, is they start typing in a word. So I'm going to use, for example, I did an egg drop unit that I've worked with a couple of different groups of teachers. So I want to go and find all my folders and files that were in the egg drop unit. So I'm going to start out by typing egg. And right here, it shows all of the folders and files that have the word egg in the title. And if I click on the little clock here, what's going to happen is egg drop challenge, Fenway egg drop, Red Sox egg drop, the folder egg drop measurement. They're going to be listed first. And then I have this twist agenda from last summer. I did Science Lessons with an Engineering Twist course. And in this agenda, the word egg shows up someplace in that document. And it shows up in every one of these documents someplace. So that can be helpful. For me, really finding the folders, that's the key. But, you look at all these other documents and maybe there's some valuable information in here that I'm just not seeing. So we need to have a little bit more sophistication. So let me come up here. And this time, instead of playing around in the search engine here in the window, I'm going to click on this pull down. And now I can get down to business. So the first thing that comes up is any, and this is really a duplicate of that first thing that we did in the search drive window. If I come up here and I do spreadsheets, for example, search, again, it's going to give me a list of every single spreadsheet that I've opened in my Google Drive environment since I've had this document, since I've had the file, since I've had the account. And that is okay, but it's not specific enough. So let me close that and come back down here. So let's do this. Let's say that what I need to do is I need to find, let's go back to those spreadsheets, presentations, I like those better. And this time we're going to look at the owners, and you get some options. You can have anyone as an owner. So this would be something you created, something that somebody else created and sent to you, right? So, or I could just narrow it down to owned by me to get rid of anybody in that share with me group. Not owned by me. So that would just make everybody who shared something with me. Or I can go to a specific person. So if I go to a specific person, I can type in their name. So here I'm going to type in my friend Erica. And I'm going to come over here to search. And lo and behold, earlier this year, Erica sent me a presentation, Weathering Erosion. Actually, it was modified in January, so it was sent before that. But now, this is really very, very narrow focus. I've been able to identify a single folder or single file from all those files that were just confusing before. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. So I'm going to come back here, and I could, if I wanted to, let me just go back to any and anyone. Now what I'm going to do is come down to location. So if I wanted to, I could pick a specific area. So for example, if I click on anywhere, double click on it, I can click on anywhere here, which means it would look in the entire drive. Or it would look in my drive. Or you could have it look in share with me. It does give you the option, if you select my drive, you can come over here and start looking through your files. But I always found this to be odd. If I knew what file I was looking for, I wouldn't be messing around in the search engine. So anywhere is good. I'm going to select it. If you wanted to, you could select in the trash. But notice, once you do that, there's an operator here, is trashed, which means that it's only going to be looking in the trash folder. And if you click on starred, another operator, is starred, is trashed. That means if you click either one of these or both, that you're going to limit your search to these two locations. So let me get rid of these guys and then just make sure I'm on anywhere, select, I'm good. All right, now I'm good to go. The next item we have up for sale is date modified. So if I click on this, I have a couple of options. So I can look at any time, not helpful. Today, pretty ridiculous. Yesterday, 30 days? All right, now we're talking 90 days. So let me look at 90 days, and I'm going to look at all of the presentations that I've opened in the last 90 days. Right? So I'm going to do a search. And lo and behold, here are all of the presentations that I've opened in the last 90 days. That's good. I've narrowed down presentations to a time frame. This is good. I'm kind of heading in the right direction here. I like how this is going. So let me do this. Come back up here. And let's do it a little more specific. So I'm going to do any type of file, okay, anywhere, date modified. Let's do this. We're going to look in a custom range. And I want to look between, let's just say, I want to go anything that I might have done last year. So January 1st to December 31st. All right. But now that I've got my time frame set up, I want to have my item name, and I'm going to look for anything that has the word Excel in the title of the folder or the file. And here we go. All these documents have Excel in their name, folders, files, and these are all of the ones that I had from last year. Now I could narrow that down to last summer or September, but now I'm really getting a very specific search when I'm looking for things. Here I am looking for something that has a specific title and it is in a custom time frame, and I'm really working the way I want to go here. Okay, let me reset all this. I would suggest you do that every once in a while, and this is probably the most helpful one. Okay, we want to enter words that are found in the file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come up here anytime, good, right? And I'm going to look for a presentation. And in the presentation, I need to have the words validation. This is a spreadsheet concept, and it's really important. And I need to find all of my documents that deal with data validation. So I'm going to search, and boom, this is really what I want. This is really what I want. RV&O is shortcut for response validation and options. So this showed up not because validation was in the title, but it's in the file itself. All right. Question types and forms. Again, the term that I use to search is not in the title, but it's in the document. And validate, response validation, that wouldn't work, except that the word validation is inside this file. This is pretty good. Now I'm really getting some narrow searches. Let me just reset here, and let's do this. So let's gonna do way down at the bottom, something that's been shared, all right? So I'm gonna enter a email here, and I got my good friend Rocky, and I wanna see what he has sent me. And Rocky sent me a text file called The Secret Codes. Thank you, Rocky. I needed the secret codes. This is it. This is how you go about searching. You might need to practice and fool around a little bit and try different things. But I'm going to tell you that if you get to use the search in Google Drive well, you're going to be really, really effective. If you want to get proficient at any skill, you got to practice it. So jump in there and generate a narrow search for a file and see if you would rather do it any other way. If you have any feedback about this video or have any questions about searching Google Drive, send me an email. If there's any other topic you'd like to see covered in a video, send me an email on that too. My name's Charlie Haffey. Thanks for watching.